You need attention right now?
Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil episode 74. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge, or in this case, here in my garage/basement. We show you what we're working on, what we're thinking about, what we're up to, what we're dreaming of. I'm going to hang out for 2 hours and share a frosty beverage and talk all things terrain and geekery. I'm Nate. I'm joined by Chris. And what's your cat's name?
Sally.
Sally.
Speaking of which, how's my volume, guys?
Oh, it's pretty low.
Quiet?
Yeah.
It's probably too quiet. Yeah.
I didn't turn you up. There you go.
I cannot wait for us to be back in the office.
Yeah. You mean you don't like being trapped in this little digital box over there?
I don't like having my cat immediately she genuinely was sleeping all day, and then as soon as the animation started playing for On the Anvil, she started meowing at me and needed attention.
So this is a show we hang out and we want you to talk at us. This is an interactive show. So ask us questions, heckle us, start a hype train, do whatever. That's part of the fun, is that it is live.
Speaking of which, we're almost at a level 2 hype train. Thank you guys. Really? Yeah.
All right.
We're consistently getting hype trains every week. Last week was massive for some reason.
So speaking of massive, we have a lot to cover tonight because we are covering talking about our new Kickstarter, which will launch way later this year.
If you haven't been to one of these streams before where we talk about our next Kickstarter, basically we are going to run through all of the basics and everything. So some of it's going to be stuff that you've heard before if you have seen those, but we want to repeat them for people who don't know it. And there have been changes since last time we talked about it that we're very excited about.
Well, spoiler alert, there's going to be changes right up until we finish the Kickstarter, not even to launch.
Yes. So that's the thing, right? It's a ways off, and the whole point of this is to kind of involve you in that creative process as much as possible.
My creative love language is tweaking, iterating.
You do love tweaking.
Because that's the thing, right? Each of those little details. If you can make 100 little tweaks that improve a thing, it's the little things that make the difference, and so it'll keep, until the ship sails and sinks halfway through the Atlantic. I just keep, just little things towards little micro improvements. Anyway, so what?
Free to the Pete is wondering how the mountain boat's doing. We do actually have an update on that.
It'll be in our news
soon, because we are gonna do the news.
Hey, speaking of news,
see,
hoodie Nate tonight. I'm in, but I did the on-brand hoodie, so at least it would be kind of uniform.
It wasn't just like your generic black hoodie with no labels on it.
Yeah, it's the our special team only hoodies that Felipe made.
See a Roman design piece behind Nate. Pantheon, maybe? Is there a Roman design piece behind?
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
There is.
Yeah.
I got this is literally Chris, I did not do any preparation for this episode. This is my workbench as in its absolute natural state. This is how it was after our meeting today, and I didn't touch anything. It's yeah. So we're gonna wade through some of that on camera too. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Let's get to the news as quickly as we can so that we can.
Anybody that's new, I don't know if we have any viewers. We will be doing a giveaway at the halfway point ish.
Yeah.
So remind us if we forget.
Yeah, it'll be a $50 gift card. Don't worry, they always remind us. Everybody always remembers the free stuff.
I was worried. Also in the news, I'm drinking out of a classy stein tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm drinking something from a little local brewery. It's an Angry Orchard. Hard cider.
Very local, the little guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. Was there anything else we needed to cover up front?
I don't think so. I think let's get to the news and get to cities because we got a lot to cover.
Oh no! I hit the wrong button.
It's the news.
You hear that new amplifier I got? It's got distortion and stuff. News. It's the news.
Yeah, we spent a lot of
spared
all that Reliquary's pledge manager money on getting you a foot pedal. the
A wah-wah pedal for my voice.
wah-wah pedal. Yeah. I always love the term wah-wah pedal because to me, like, wah-wah is explicitly like what a baby calls water, like in my family.
But it's a sound. Wah, 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 wah.
No,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that, but it's just like I always grew up with like it being water
Wah-wah.
for a baby.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
All
one baby's
Um,
water is another person's guitar pedal. So,
Yes. News. Let's go in fairly chronological order. Starting with Wildlands. Container 2 and 3 are still shipping out from the warehouse. They are shipping smoothly. We haven't had any issues with that. Hopefully,
slowly but smoothly.
yeah, slowly but smoothly. There's a lot of stuff for them to pack and ship out, so it's taken. I think hopefully we'll be close to done with those containers soon. Since they're shipping 2 at once, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than when they were just shipping the 1 container before.
I know Stefan didn't have his forest stuff yet. So,
I haven't
like,
gotten my shipping notification either yet. So they are still packing and shipping. If you haven't gotten a shipping notification yet, don't worry. Things are still moving.
Except, we got a nice picture for you here.
Yeah.
Look at that. So that was...
if you remember last week. We told you that Container 4, the boat it was on had an accident. We actually got a picture of the boat. As you can see, that row of containers just collapsed, and so a bunch of them are crunched, and a number of them went over the into the water as well.
Here's the
and
next.
So, they actually showed a picture at one point. There's another picture of the boat that shows a container is like hanging over the edge.
Well, that's the backside. So 2 bits came off.
Yeah.
So that bunch up front and this bunch up in the back. And here's a nice close up for you. Look at that. Hopefully that's not us. But the good news is Chuck, Eli and Chuck crunched the numbers, and it's like we have like a 1 in 50 chance that our container or something. It wasn't very high.
Yeah, the last I saw, I was looking at the updates for that boat. The last I saw, they had it dock in Charleston, I think, to like assess the damage and unload the damaged containers.
No, I thought they were unloading everything so they could.
Maybe.
I don't know.
All I know is I saw they had left that stop now and were heading back up the coast to New York. So I think they were just getting the damaged stuff off and making sure they were safe to keep going.
Well, regardless of what it is, we know this boat is a little delayed, and we don't know if our container's intact. The chances are very high that our container's fine, but we will find out. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah, we also feel fairly confident that if we are in one of the containers that got crushed, we'll be okay, and it'll actually just end up being a great advertisement for how indestructible Dwarvenite is. So, you know.
We'll fund a diving team, a deep sea diving team, to go get our...
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Odds are things are okay. We should know within the next couple weeks whenever they dock and everything gets unloaded and they take inventory. So yeah, that's that. Other Wildlands news, we're going to have the update for the month out either tomorrow or Friday.
Friday's more realistic.
And we'll go in depth on the state of all the shipping then. Any other updates or information or timeline changes that we're aware of will be in that update. And we're also going to have a bunch of the written content stuff that you guys are expecting in that update. We're going to have the paint guide for the paint guide PDF, I should say, for forest and swamp pieces.
Yep.
Will be in that update. Aaron and Letitia. Did Janet work on it as well, or is it just Letitia?
I think it was just Aaron and Letitia.
Just Aaron and Letitia. They've been working really hard on it, and it's very comprehensive and covers a lot of stuff. So I think it'll be, I think it'll be useful. We'll also have the build guide for the Forest Mega Pledge in that update, and we will have the Forest Adventures, 2 5-encounter adventures set in the Dread Hollow Forest. Will all be in this update.
Yeah, by Eli Alexander, our head of sculpting, and Teos Alphastream Abadia. Who's an awesome writer, has done a bunch of writing for us. So it's been really cool. Excited to get that stuff out there. Excited to finally get you guys some paint guides and some build guides. And then the next mountain will be next up. Once we have those sets to build with if they get off the boat.
We have a we have a viewer, New Classic Mel.
We have a viewer?
He says that they work in the industry, and if we need them to track the container for us, just hit them up.
Ooh.
Is that something we want to follow up on?
I think the problem is nobody on the boat knows. I think they don't know which containers fell overboard. They have to do an accounting of
Okay.
I think the problem is it's this two big giant stacks. They don't know exactly how many fell off and where and what. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any guesses as to when Wildlands will be available in the store?
At this rate?
Yeah, so the thing is,
May?
we'll put it in the store once all of the pieces have been sent out to the people who back the Kickstarter. Currently, we need to wait for the last container to go out after Chinese New Year because we got bumped off of the boat for that.
And we don't know. We don't have. We've had troubles. Right now, shipping is still a mess. So we're not guaranteed to get on a boat immediately. So let's say best case scenario, it gets on a boat mid-February. We get it end of March. And I don't know when the other ones. I think the other ones are en route then. March, out April. So the earliest it would get up in the web store would be May, assuming Rest of World is all going out and everything. Like May seems like the earliest. We'd have stuff in the web store. Maybe June. I don't know. It could be sooner, probably later, but we will definitely keep you posted as soon as we do.
Yeah. As soon as we have like concrete information, we will let you know. And we'll give a heads up before it shows up in the store so you don't get like caught off guard about it or anything.
Yeah.
I believe that's all of the Wildlands information.
Woo! Wow.
Let's see. For Reliquaries, the Reliquaries Pledge Manager is open. It launched last week.
Woo!
That is up. If you have, if you missed it, if you didn't get your invitation or anything, check your spam folders. Because everybody should have gotten them by now.
Yeah.
And if you can't find it, you can't find a way into the Pledge Manager, just email us at customer service, and we will get it sorted for you. Also, if you missed the Kickstarter and you see the Reliquaries and you like them and you want to get in on it, also email customer service, and we will get you set up.
I also last week I said we didn't change anything for the Pledge Manager. I was incorrect. We added a stone plug pack so that people could get those stone plugs better. And I think we actually ended up putting a couple of them in the Completionist and all the sculpts, if I remember correctly. I can't remember what the final. I think we ended up putting 4 each in the Completionist and all the sculpts, too. So there was that. That was one little. I think we didn't make that change till after the episode. We were supposed to. Somebody flagged it. I think Randy was like, "Weren't you supposed to sing with those things?" Yeah.
I was about to type this to Daigo, but I'll actually just say it out loud. Oh god. They asked about the restock. The first restock also got bumped off the boat along with the Wildlands container. So the earliest we will get that up would be end of March, beginning April. Depends on how quickly it gets on a boat. It's very likely that the 2 restocks on the restock list will actually be one big restock now. We will let you know as we get closer to it. We won't really know for sure until it officially is on a boat and on the water.
I'm betting $1 that it's a mega restock. It's just all in one. What's wild is some of these things we ordered last summer, and then stuff got put in the back burner because of Wildlands production, and then there was some Reliquaries things, whatever. So it's like some of this stuff we've been waiting for 10 months or something. It's like it's nuts. But anyway, what else we got, Chris?
Other stuff we have is web store related stuff. Next week, we're going to launch a new collection.
Ooh.
And it's going to be, how on the page we've got like dungeons, caverns, core sets, stuff like that. We're going to be launching one that is for war games / scatter sets.
Well,
basically.
it's so hang on. It won't be accessible from that main menu yet. I don't know how we're actually going to get there yet. Well, at some point we're doing it. We haven't gotten that so further. This is the sort of Band-Aid version. We're going to have a page, a standalone scatter page. So it's perfect sets for wargaming and RPG stuff or whatever you want to do, but it's not going to be in that mega menu the way the other stuff is yet because it doesn't have a filter associated yet. It's the first step towards getting that up, though. So we'll get that. The version you're talking about will go up at some point. But right now, this will just be a standalone collection page that collects together some of our neat standalone sets, like the Rabbit Special, the small watchtower, which looks kind of like that. You can't see it. But that goes out hopefully next Wednesday.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the basic idea there is a collection of stuff, sets that function well for people who, play war games more than RPGs, as well as people who are playing RPGs but want kind of the cheaper, instead of having, like, fully sculpted floors and everything, doing, like, a mat or terrain tray and scatter, or just wanting to be able to make, like, really quick builds instead of having to put entire rooms together. We're also going to be debuting a new thing that we're going to try to do more of. We're going to have a bundle in there that it'll be kind of like a build of the month situation, except instead of only being a month long, it will just be a bundle in the store that will be available whenever it's in stock, like whenever we have the stock for it.
Hey, guess what? I made it 2 bundles also.
Oh yeah, it's 2 bundles now.
I blew it up into 2 because it was better that way.
Yeah.
And it may or may not have a gift card. We're still going to sort that out. And that's going to...
Yeah, the main thing is, the gift card is one thing. But the main thing is we're looking at it, and sample builds have always been so helpful for people trying to figure out how this stuff works together and what they can do with the pieces. And so we figured it would be nice if, even if there's not a discount involved, to just have bundles there so that you can see, this is a complete room, this is a complete session that I can run, instead of having to look at individual packs. Sometimes looking at individual packs can be hard to figure out, like, how exactly that works or why it's worth getting that set.
Well, it's like going into the Lego store and, like, just buying a bucket of bricks or something versus, like, buying the cool Batmobile or something. Like, I know what this builds. This builds a Batmobile.
Unpainted bundle options, too. I believe as long as we have the stock for it, we'll also have unpainted. Because again, like the goal of these is to basically always be there whenever we actually have the pieces. So if a set sells out, you can't get that bundle until we restock that set, basically.
It's basically it should make it as easy, like an easy one-click purchase. This makes a thing. It's easy to understand. Click it, buy it, get started.
Yeah.
Boom.
And so that'll be a first time, like, kind of putting these evergreen bundles into the store, and we're hoping to do more of it over time. Another thing that we're wanting to do, there's another collection we're wanting to put together that we're going to call Forge Favorites. And if you remember the hidden gem stuff that we do in emails, sometimes it's kind of like that, where it'd be a collection highlighting sets that maybe aren't the core set, like starting blocks necessarily, but are interesting sets. Like once you already have some stuff, things that add like a lot of little functionality to it. Stuff like the Wicked City is that what it was called? Like the Wicked City pack. Stuff like that, where it's like, this is a really cool thing that gets overlooked a lot.
Well, the thing that's on page 5 of this city, you have to click through 4 pages of stuff, half of which is sold out or something, to find these things somewhere hidden. Like there's definitely some good stuff buried in there. Whatever the hundreds of sets we have on the site, it's hard to find some of these. So we're putting together, curating a little collection of here's some stuff you might have missed. Yeah.
And our goal is, like, we want that to be a kind of living collection that as stuff sells out, like, it phases out. Like, we probably want that collection to be, it only shows, like, stuff that's currently in stock. And as stock changes, we update it and change it over time. So it's kind of a thing that you can go to whenever you're just, like, curious, like, what might be interesting. And then you can say, like, hey, if you've got city stuff, this is, like, actually, like, a really good pack to mix in if you've got, like, a good amount of cottages or something. Just little stuff that adds flavor that doesn't really fit into the other categories. Because we got a lot of sets.
and half of them are sold out.
I
So
don't know what is in Wicked. IME says, I don't know what is in Wicked City. Don't recall seeing it. That's exactly why we're doing this collection.
yeah. Dude, it's
Yeah,
got the
Wicked City comes with.
smuggler's cart. It's got the pheasant fountain. It's got the gargoyle corner posts. It's got the market stands. It's got the crate and barrel collection together, and water barrels.
It's a lot of really cool flavor stuff, but it's a thing
Yep.
like it doesn't build much by itself, so it's like very rare that somebody just starting their collection will come across it. But if you've got like especially stone buildings, those corner posts that come with it like add so much flavor to it and like looks really cool, and then you get the little horse and cart. Like it's a cool collection.
Or if you don't even have any buildings, you just forget the corner posts. You have all the other stuff as great scattered accessories. It was the last pack. I believe it was the last pack we did for cities in the cities Kickstarter. Actually, Bridge of Valor might have been the last one we revealed. I don't know. It was in the tail end. It was the accessory. But that's out of stock. That's like the signature piece of that was like the signature piece of City Builder. Oh.
Hang on, let me check. I thought it was out of stock. I might be wrong. Or maybe it was just a joke that we don't give it the credit it deserves.
Yeah, that's a great that piece is awesome. It's so weird to look at, and then you build it and you go, oh, there you go. So is the Stairway to Violence, which I feel like was the signature piece of Caverns Deep, and
yeah,
Titan's Tooth is going to be sold out, and like although I don't know if Titan's Tooth is the signature piece of Wildlands. Maybe it is. I don't know what the. But anyway, what else? What else is in the news, Chris?
I think that's basically it, unless you can think of something. But that's everything I had on my notepad here.
Cool.
20 minutes is not bad. We still got a good amount of time for getting into the Kickstarter. Which, Godspeed.
Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about some things and then look at some things.
Yeah. Go ahead and give them the spiel about things changing and all that.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say I have the what do we want to look at with the light puck? I wanted to.
Oh, you got the light puck with you?
Yeah. Life changing.
Nice.
All right, so the spiel is everything you see and hear tonight is subject to change, right? So we're showing you the creative process, right? So everything could change sometime between now and when you get the stuff in 2023. So, we're showing you how it's going along. So any of these things, these ideas could get cut, they could get modified, they could die and come back, they could evolve, the colors could change, the shapes could change. It's all it's all in process. So nothing is set in stone.
If you were here for Wildlands, you know the saga of the waterfalls and the Oblivion Nexus. So,
yeah. Yeah, and all the it's all these. It's a moving target. So the purpose of this is kind of to chart our creative process, right? Sort of explain to you what we're thinking, why, where we're going, and then you get to kind of see the changes, like you saw with 7 iterations of Waterfall, or whatever. And we might, depending on how tonight goes, I might cut up some foam and see what happens. We'll see. There's a piece I want to start.
On the spot.
Yeah,
there's foam, I guess you have to if you're working from home. Never mind.
Yeah, although I'm not really.
There were people talking about missing the foam mock-up sessions because with Wildlands,
we did some fun.
We were there for that part of it, but just when we've been talking about cities, we haven't really been streaming while you were in the part of the process where you were doing a lot of film work. Because so much of designing cities has actually been different, where it's been a lot of 3D stuff.
There's been a bunch of foam, but it's been also a lot of it we're doing. I do a really rough one in foam, and then we do a more refined mock in 3D because some of this geometry is really specific and tricky, and just requires very specific shapes of it. It's just not efficient to do.
Building a city requires a lot more mechanical precision than making a bunch of rocks and trees.
But but like this one, I did a mock of this in foam to get the idea across, and then Eli took the idea and refined it in 3D, and then we printed these out, and so it is a fun part of the process. But there's definitely still foam is still flying around because it's the fastest way, at least for me, to sketch some things in 3 dimensions. But let's talk about this city. So Our next Kickstarter is needs a name, so we're open to suggestions. Right now,
Rabbit has given us like 30 at this point.
what are the best ones? Just give us our best, your top 3. It's Cities 2 right now is our working title, C2. And the goal is to expand and improve our existing city builder system. So it's a combination of adding a few bits to our older buildings that are Tudor and stone, and then introducing some new building styles, as well as a bunch of toolboxes of new systems. So we have an ashlar, like a fancy stone style that we're adding, and we have a rustic wood style that we're adding. So collectively we will have then the sort of the gamut from fancy stone, standard field stone, kind of fancy Tudor, standard wood. So it'll be kind of a nice range of, and between all of those you'll be able to build hopefully anything. And I'm very excited in particular about wood. Like just plain wood is going to be the bread and butter of so many things. I'm very, very excited to finally have just some plain wood in the lineup, because it's just I feel like it's gonna be the most useful of all 4 of this types of buildings. So then beyond that, and I'll show some pictures in a sec. The big things we're trying to improve upon in the existing city builder system are breaking the box, right? So everything previously on city builder system, everything was very boxy. Right, we had like the buildings were squares, right? You could put squares on top of squares, and squares next to squares, and squares, but it was all squares. Everything's squares. So we're trying to break the what's that there? We're trying to break the squares with new shapes that are not squares, and have much more interesting visual variety. So we're breaking the box. It's a big one. Multi-level play is really important. Having better ways to lift off levels of a building, so you could have the haunted house, all 4 levels built up, or the tavern, or the hideout, or whatever, and then deconstruct as you explore them, or lay them down as the players are going. They come in at the first floor, and then they go up to the second floor, and you just drop it on top, and they go through there, or whatever, or spread them around the table and do more forms. But the idea is that we'll be able to fix stuff together and be able better multi-level building, and more importantly, a lot of emphasis on multi-level play. Right, we want to go up. Right, we want to explore the Z-axis and get the most out of our 3D. Put the 4 in 3D. The 4th dimension is time. The time you spend at the table. I don't know, but yeah, lots of multi-level play, because that's fun, right? To do the stuff you can't do on graph paper. Yeah. The other big change is we're assuming everything is being built scatter style on top of a surface rather than in line with tiles. So City Builder 1 assumed everything was being built in line with sculpted terrain. We're breaking that assumption and saying now everything is going to be built on top of either an existing battle mat, or a flip mat, or a terrain tray, or a battle board, or sculpted terrain, or graph paper, or whatever, your vinyl dry erase mat, or whatever. Because in general, that's how most people build and play most encounters. That being said, you're still going to be able to build inline, and we'll have some solutions for that. But the general emphasis is for building on top of a surface rather than in line with tiles, which gives you a lot more flexibility in how you build and what you build on. And the buildings don't have to be in these perfect 4x4 grids, whatever. Now things can be cocked askew and in circles, and now much more irregular and interesting and organic. That's a pretty big one, I think. You can also mix. You can mix and match too, right? You can have some stuff built in line with sculpted terrain or battle boards, whatever, and then have some other stuff on top and whatever that's just off by one floor height. That works fine. You can say.
However, if you do want to, since this is an expansion of the system, if you do want to just get the stuff that works with like inline grid building or whatever, you can focus on just continuing to do it that way. But it's the whole thing where we're like, when we're talking about like getting out of everything being box shaped, being able to build on top of like street level instead of having to build in line
becomes
street
challenging.
level is a big part of that.
Yeah, but also, and here's a really important thing to note: we're not making your existing city stuff irrelevant, right? We're not destroying like your Tudor and Fieldstone buildings that you have, your Imperial streets, your any of the city stuff you already have. None of that's becoming irrelevant. It'll still be useful, and it'll still be. We're giving you more options that you can combine with that stuff. Like a lot of these things in the new city, you're gonna wish you had. Oh man, I wish I had a bunch of Fieldstone walls, or I wish I had some Tudor buildings for that, or I wish I had that Waken City pack, or I wish I had those tavern accessories or whatever. Like, so we're adding on and expanding what you can do with the city system, but we're not making any of it obsolete. Like, period.
Yeah. The new pieces that we're working on are going to be able to do new things that the original CBS won't be able to, but they're not going to make it so you can't use the old stuff at all.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless something does, but I don't know. There may be a few exceptions to the rule, but
it doesn't seem like it so far. But
no.
We'll see.
All right, let's look at. I think that's all of our. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, do we want to?
Yes.
All right. Well, I talked about. Oh, here's an example. So I was gonna talk about here. Well, here's what's in the KS. Right. So we did a team presentation today, sort of going over what's in the Kickstarter. So I'm using that as my basis for this, and he times that really well. So like I said, we're gonna have Ashlar, new fancy stone. That's actually, you know what?
You got the pictures?
Conceptually.
Yeah, we're making this boat.
Modular boats confirmed, Topulus.
Let's do it. Yeah, and he's here, and he's been talking about boats. When we said the new pieces are going to be able to do stuff that the old pieces wouldn't, he said, like sail the high seas.
Oh, well played. All right, so this is a sample of our Ashlar. How does that read? Oh yeah, you can see it.
It looks like it's coming through pretty clean for me.
Yeah. So the idea is it's Ashlar bricks, right? It's like it's hewn stone into rectangles with some decorative bits across the top, and then what's kind of fun is our windows in this are arched, and the doorway is arched, so it's a different shape. So these doors won't be interchangeable with your existing city doors, but they're gonna look really pretty, so it's worth it. And these are hot off, like the sculpts are hot off Eli's desk, and those sketches are right off his desk too. We're looking at a sketch for an LED wall on the bottom right, and a magnetic wall on the bottom left. And that was sort of a mock-up of what it would look like in line with the corner posts and the floors around it to see. Like, it's gonna be pretty ornate. So kind of excited for Ashlar, and it'll probably be like a creamy white color. So it will be different than our gray. You know, our existing Fieldstone is gray. This will be a more white, cream, warm color. So we're trying to open up the palette a little bit. And then we will have rustic wood, which would look something like... wait, back in the Ashlar town, right? This is... Buckle up. This was floor... So we're going to have kind of the top middle... So the left is a corner post sample. And then the top middle is a sort of the standard floor, like not the fancy floor. That's like your general building floor. And then the bottom is the ornate fancy floor. So the idea is we're going to have like a kind of a plain floor and a fancy floor in each style. So you have once again more ways to kind of mix and match. And all the floors will have a stairwell, a 2x1 stairwell knocked out of them, as you can see in the lower right. That's the sculpt from Nina's desk. And the idea is there will be an insert plug for it. So the problem we had in the original City Builder is we had solid floor and we had a stairwell floor that had a 2x1 hole in it and a trapdoor floor. And inevitably, you didn't have enough of the kind of floor you wanted. You either wanted more solid floors or you wanted more stair floors, or you didn't want the trapdoor floors or whatever. You just didn't ever have the thing you want. Now, one floor does it all. So we're going to have a solid insert and we'll have a trapdoor insert, and you can mix and match your inserts to so every floor can be all three of those things. So you just might run out of floors, but you will always have the style you want using the inserts. For wood, I'm not on the right app. We've got some samples of the rustic wood. So it'll be a little weathered, a little distressed, little bits of rot and warping, but not too much so, right? Because once again, these we have the challenge with everything we make is we want to be really specific and really general, right? You want to be able to use this thing. You want it to look like something cool and look unique and have character and whatever, but also we want to be able to use these same pieces to build everything from a tavern to a farmhouse to a stable to an abandoned warehouse to a nice guild house to an elven townhouse, whoever. Like it's we want to have the kind of run and gamut of things that it can make. So it can't be too specific. We add the specificity with the dressings and accessories that you throw in there. You pile some trash against it, and it becomes the sort of the rundown thing. You pack the buildings closer together and build them tightly, and then it's the slums versus they're more open, and you put a couple more pole accessories on the top, and it's like the nicer middle class district or whatever. Then we have also in rustic wood. This is a floor sample. This is like the plain floor and a plain corner post, and this is a double high wall that gets. Who can guess what goes in there? Any guesses?
Cows.
Eli was suggesting mammoths earlier today, but
be careful when you walk forward. I think you're getting off.
Oh, off mic. Yeah, there's that. Oh, I can just bring. I've got the power to bring a keyboard to me.
There you go.
Yes. Double doors. The answer is double doors, right? So you can take our.
Oh, is he alive?
Double door.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I thought he got killed by Snape.
What? Oh, I haven't watched the Harry Potter stuff.
Wait, did I genuinely spoil that for you in the year of our Lord 2022?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's okay. I'll figure it out when I get there. Whenever I'll watch it with the kids when they're ready.
What? Huh.
Yeah. No, I never read. I think I was too old when Harry Potter came out, and
you definitely were.
And then I tried to watch the first movie, and I'm like, this is a silly kids movie. Like I don't want, and this doesn't make any sense. Why are they playing space football? And like I was like out. I was like, this is I'm like right out. They really lost me with flying around playing polo on brooms. I was like, this is stupid. Like this is not for me.
If you were not going through puberty or about to go through puberty when you first read them, they're really nothing special.
Yeah, I meant
like don't worry about it. It's fine.
It meant nothing to me. But I got the series for Grayson, and I'm hoping to read it with him.
I just thought it was funny that like I went to the thing that's like the joke spoiler people always use because it's like there's no way people don't know this yet. And
I don't know who any of these people are, so it doesn't matter. Like it's good. So anyway, so this so in that doorway on the right, you put any of your double doors are in there, and we'll have some new double doors. So we're having double door compatibility. Yay! Oh, we're having gravity compatibility. And what do we got? One more piece of wood here. This is the fancy floor, the parquet wood floor and fancy corner post, so you can change the style of your. It's got some nice rosettes there, so you can change the look of your building with that. And then on the right, you can see insert. So it's double-sided. One side has the plain wood, one side has the parquet. So we can use the same insert for both floors. Yay! All right, so we got. Go back to. We're doing split. All right, so that was those are our basic offerings. In addition, we have we've got we're gonna have a little bit of expansion bits for Fieldstone and Tudor. So our existing lines will have a little bit of some expansion for this stuff. Mostly just narrow walls and double high walls, so you have more building options there. Although I think we showed previously, we have a really neat portcullis wall for stone with lions on each side. It's pretty cool. Got a couple of good bits.
Quick clarification.
Yes.
Are we doing double-sided floors or just the inserts double-sided?
Just the inserts.
Okay.
We were originally intending to do double-sided floors, and there were some manufacturing challenges based on our biscuit system, which we'll talk about. The biscuits tanked the double-sided floors. Classic tale.
That's a sentence you said out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we're also this is hot news item. We're gonna have City Builder Basics, right? So this will be in the style. It is not these. These are resin, but in the style of. Bring the microphone. That's also dark. Hang on, let me put a little backlight. No. Please stand by.
With a real Slim Shady, please stand by.
Hold on.
Yeah, people are going to be excited about this. Well, certain people are going to be very excited about this.
Yeah, some people may get angry. I don't know. Anything could happen.
I don't think anybody's going to be angry about it. I haven't heard anybody be angry about it, but I think this is yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Rabbit knows what I'm talking about. A lot of people on the forums are going to be happy about this.
All right, so essentially we're gonna have right. These are, and obviously once again these are just their old resin pieces that we're using as stand-ins. But we'll have a regular 2x2 floor, wall, or floor, a wall, a corner, a window wall, and then we'll have one that's it'll be a built-in. It'll be like a door built into a wall, like so it's not gonna be a ton of pieces, but it'll be enough to do all of your basic fun 2x2 building. We also have. There's going to be. Where's the one that they cut out? There's going to be a diagonal that is in the other thing, but I'm not really including it with the basics because it has. It's going to look. There's an example of the foam coming in, right? It's going to look something like this, so you can slot in the narrow walls into it, so you could put a regular or a door or whatever. And it'll of course work with your 2x2s, but it won't be in that basic like core set of the 2x2s, but it will be in there and available if you want to mix and match.
Is this going to be in the in dungeon scale or CBS scale?
CBS. Everything will be true 1-inch scale.
The basic idea behind this is if you just this is just a way easier, faster way to do interiors. If you just want to do interior builds, you can't make an exterior city with this. But if you want to slap together basically a city-themed dungeon, this is a faster, easier way to do it.
You could do an exterior, you could just roll everything, if you wanted to build out a whole city using 2x2s, you could. It wouldn't have wild variety. It wouldn't have whatever, but you can also mix and match it, right? You could combine it with your existing Tudor, or your new wood, or it's going to be wood style, not Tudor style. Also important to note, because we thought wood was the most universal. Like you can kind of use it to do anything. Also, it will have it'll have our biscuit slots. We'll talk about those shortly. Although I don't actually have a biscuit here, I don't think, which is a real shame, but we'll get there. So it'll be able to join with other things. You can use it to do some advanced building with the rest of the City Builder system if you want, as well as just a bucket of pizza itself, or like you said, just a quick, like you want to drop down an encounter quick. You pour it in a bucket and build some stuff out or whatever. But I think this is going to scratch an itch for a lot of people, and we'll see how it's received, and maybe we'll do more like that in the future. But it should be a great, five pieces to do a lot. Any questions on those? The basic, that's sort of the core pieces that we have, and then we'll start talking about expansions.
A lot of people excited about it. Is that diagonal piece going to come in all themes? Matterbotus is wondering.
It will come in at least wood and ashlar, and I don't know if we're gonna do it in Tudor and or Fieldstone yet.
How will those 2x2 pieces connect with the wedge style slot pieces?
Wedge style slot pieces?
I'm currently trying to figure out what that means.
Define wedge style slot piece. Oh, I will tell you one thing also is that the new rustic wood is going to be, the base wood color is going to be the same color as our Tudor bits, so you could mix and match the new wood diagonal with your Tudor. Like a lot of the stuff we're not going to do a Tudor version of also, because you can throw a little a wood corner in your Tudor building and it should all work because the woods are all going to be the same color, if that makes sense.
Standard CBS. Okay, so will these combine with standard CBS is what he's wondering, basically.
Yes. They're going to be the exact same scale. Have that weird half-inch offset grid. Everything. Yes, they're designed. Everything we're doing is in the City Builder system style. So everything is designed to play nicely with City Builder old and new. Right,
and
so
these
you'll
be
able to do that.
These are being made in a way where they will fit cleanly into the streets and stuff if you wanted to do that, right?
Yeah, they're simple square 2x2s in Legacy or in True Scale. So yes, they will fit with your.
And then these will have magnets, yes?
Yes, they will have anchor magnets.
Yak is. No, we got a couple questions that I think are about what the next thing's going to be, anyways. Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't realize you were demoing it. Yeah, so they will build in line, basically.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, and once again, these are just the resin pieces. This is just a rough proxy. I mean, they're just. But yes, it's going to be like the idea is it'll all jive. It will work really nicely together. And we'll have biscuits so you can use them to you connect with the other bits. Also, this floor, just to keep you on your toes, this floor is going to have, where's my mock of it? This floor is going to have corner post holes in it so that you can use it to build, if you want, using narrow walls and corner posts, you can use your floors to build additional straight walls or corners if you have corner posts and narrow walls to further open up your arsenal.
Compatibility, baby. Let's see. Why biscuits and not magnets? Magnets don't hold very well if you want to make large second floor buildings, is the main thing.
Yes, I'll show
the biscuits are much more secure.
We will show the biscuits in a moment.
Let's see.
All right. So then, expansions. Are we ready for this? Or buckle up?
One last question. Will the 2x2 pieces throw off the grid from standard CBS? No, it's the same grid, right?
It's going to be the same grid. I was trying to find, I had a mock-up somewhere. Okay. Hard to imagine I can't find something in here. Here, you know what I'll do for fun? Let's just cut it live. We're cutting it live, Chris.
Sure. And while we're doing that, I'll address Dago real quick. Any expansion pieces for sewers? We're not doing sewers this time, but we will... It doesn't mean we'll never do sewers.
Get a blade out.
Let's see. Yeah, we are focusing entirely on above ground stuff for this Kickstarter.
Yeah. I have the list of what's not...
We want to be thorough enough that we've basically done everything we need to do above ground with this one. He doesn't need the drill for the foam.
I don't need it, but I could still use it.
Let's see.
So essentially, it's a very high-class mock-up here. Right, essentially the grid is going to look something like that. With, imagine the wall coming up there. Or so that makes a full, when it sits in there, it connects. Is that what it says? Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Is it off? What? The incarnation? Oh, no, I'm in, yeah.
It's okay if you didn't cut perfect.
Yeah, and then it'll line up with another one. Right, so something like such. So basically the whole grid is offset by half an inch.
Yeah, you're basically just going to be able to make all kinds of weird shapes instead of needing to be the same squares all the time.
Well, you just have smaller squares now.
Yeah, but
yeah,
variety of squares is...
But once you throw the diagonal in, you really get, like, that opens up a whole, whole bunch of crooked, cool shapes. And whatnot. There are questions about just the core bits.
Rabbit wants to know if we're going to be getting ruined versions of these.
You know what? No. we're so we came up with a team meeting earlier too. I think we're going to don't think we're doing any ruins in this. But at some point we're going to have the in ruins, everything's ruined Kickstarter where we just ruin everything. But no ruins here.
I think that's everything, actually. A lot of people are asking about other systems that we've talked about before, and if that's affected by this, and we'll get to that.
All right, so in addition to these core bits, we have planned currently modular roof system. There's going to be a lot of emphasis on roofs because there's a lot of fun multi-level play that happens up on the roof, right? Who doesn't want to get up on the roof and get crazy? Our scaffolding system, which is good for building docks, balconies, causeways, catwalks, porches, actual scaffolding, barricades. Like, it's going to be just a wild toolbox. The courtyard wall system, which we'll show off. An interior wall system for better, faster inns and hallways and little rooms and closets and whatnot. The post and wall facade system, and we'll have some sculpted ground that's not really an expansion, and lots of dressing and accessories and whatnot. And we'll walk through and show some of those things in a bit. We're currently planned. We're going to support wall socket LEDs. So more of those, more magnetic accessories, more, we had these cool magnetic walls in the city and not a ton of great stuff to put in them. So a bunch of magnetic stuff, a couple new LED sockets so you have some new light up bits to put on your LED walls and mix and match with all of your previous LED walls. Double doors, which I talked about, so you can use all your existing double doors in here, and we'll have a couple new ones that you can then throw in your cavern or your dungeon or your castle or whatever. Right now we have one modular tree stump, so you can bring your trees into the forest, or bring your trees into the city, or your city into the forest.
I can't remember who asked about it before. But yeah, somebody a couple months ago asked, like, hey, is there gonna be some kind of little plot of ground that you can put your wildlands trees in or anything?
Yeah, we need a little a little greenery in the city, splash of color, and we have some support for the light puck and the fogger. Oh, speaking of which, let's look at this thing for a second. So I finally have a factory finished light puck in hand, and it is I can't wait for this thing to ship and people to actually get their hands on it and start playing. So as we speak, Miles and Toby, well, actually, they might not be doing this very second, but Miles and Toby are.
Well,
You think they're working on it right now?
well, they might be, because basically what
Yeah.
happened is they updated the software to the point where all the stuff that we'd made for it before wasn't working anymore. And so we had to have meetings. We had to have another meeting to like go over and like learn about the changes. But then we were like, oh wait, it's okay. The changes that they made actually gave you way more control. And
Oh
so
wait, is this two blown out? Wait, I can't
we
even.
we were like initially annoyed about it because it's like great, we have to remake all the stuff, but then it was like, oh wait, we can actually do way more cool stuff now.
Well,
Um,
I'll tell you
yeah,
once you have it in hand and you put it in like. It is like I am so fired up. So they got some more programs that are cooking for this thing, but we're gonna have some. We will have some support for this in cities because it's really cool.
DW is wondering if we're gonna have the Light Puck and Fogger available in the Kickstarter, or if they have to get them out of the web store.
Web store. It'll
Okay.
be in the web store whenever that happens. But there's gonna be a bunch of we got some, and we'll have support for the fogger also because who doesn't need some smoke coming out of their chimney, right?
Yeah, that thatch roof at the chimney.
Dude, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So we have the biscuit system, the post and wall facade system, and should probably show both of those a little. Oh, we can look at this. Put this thing in there, like, get out. Look at this.
But yeah, so for people who asked earlier, the update to the like city basics or whatever is not replacing the interior wall system. We are
We have
still
both.
making that as well. We're basically trying to like complement as many different building styles as possible.
Lightning.
Oh, that's really cool.
Red lightning. Yeah, it's really. I'm very
Will there be a
excited.
magic mouth magnetic wall accessory?
I don't know. I don't have one currently planned, but
When it comes to like
we'll
a lot
see.
of the accessories and small bits, we're not really making those until we finished the
Look at this.
all the basics. So
We have a really long list of things we're doing, but I don't know. We have that head, the talking head from KS6, which is a pretty good magic mouth, if nothing else. I mean, it's a whole head, but he was the head of security.
we've had people ask for both a bell tower and a clock tower.
And we'll see. The important things before we look at biscuits and postings, and like Chris was saying, the things that are not included, we're not going below ground. We're not going. We're not going out into the frontier. We're not going to castles. Like, it's just going to be these cities. Just focus on buildings, right? We want to just build out the city and kind of do everything you need in the city, and we'll explore those other areas in other Kickstarters. All right, questions about that before we look at sort of explain the biscuit. I don't have a biscuit, and it's really vexing me.
Oh, people are asking about streets/ground.
There will be some sculpted ground options. There will not be new streets in this. We have planned to try some diagonal streets direct to web store, but we're not currently not doing streets in this Kickstarter. Man, look how that phantasmal filter, the spiraling one with the spiral in it. It's like
It looks very
such a
good.
fun, yeah. Why don't you just take that thing? You can.
Will there be new street lighting pieces, or will the existing ones be more available?
We're not gonna. We currently don't have plans to reprint anything, but we have plans to make a bunch of fun new stuff. I'm not sure exactly what all the LED things we're gonna do yet are exactly, but we will definitely have some LED pieces out there for sure.
Let's see. Giveaway today? Yeah, we'll do the giveaway soon. It is 8 o'clock on the dot right now.
Why don't we do it right now?
Sure. What should the word be? Double doors?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm
Yeah.
hypnotized by the light puck. I'm like...
That's perfectly fine. All right, nobody put it in yet. Well, this is frozen up on me. 1 second.
So the giveaway canceled is what you're saying?
Nope, not canceled. Just needed to wake up. Oh, baby.
Let's
What
put
happened?
in the crystals.
Yeah, all right. So it will be double doors, but it is not currently active. So hang on. Any plans for new tavern or scatter minis?
Yes.
Tables, benches, torches, etc.
Yes. Yes, we have to have a tavern because, it's a tavern. So where else would you
Okay.
ever have an adventure?
The giveaway is active. Type double doors, all one word, no spaces. To be entered in the giveaway, it's for a $50 gift card to the Dwarven Forge store. You can get this no matter where you live. It is a digital gift card. Oh, that buried all the questions. Should have thought that through.
Well, there's that.
I'm UK. Are you eligible for giveaway? Yes, you are eligible in the UK. You are eligible anywhere in the world. Well, because now the chat is full of people saying double doors, so all the questions and stuff got moved way up. Is what it is.
Hey, but Chris, Snake killed the double doors.
Yes. North Korea? Yeah. I think North Korea. It doesn't matter where you live. You are eligible. I think we can ship anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we've ever had to.
The gift card is digital.
Yeah, it's digital. New fiddly bits? There will indeed be
Oh,
fiddly
man.
bits.
There's going to be like 50 fiddly bits. We'll show some stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple...
Got some fresh pictures from Michelle. The queen of fiddly bits.
Butcher shop minis? That's very specific. I don't know if we know that yet.
They're not butcher shop minis. I know that.
New miniature set, please. We are planning on doing some minis. I don't know that we can say what they are. Because I don't think we even know.
No, I know, but I don't know what we're going to... We've made a lot of minis before that have never ended up seeing the light of day. They get cut before the... terrain takes precedence generally, so... We'll see. Alright, I have to turn this off. I can't, I'm literally just staring at this,
You're a simple man.
light puck. Yeah.
Oh, people are kind of getting their first glimpse of the Conics app, actually. On your phone there. It was on camera. Let's see.
Those are the programs. Yeah, this is the...
Facades? We are doing facades, yes. The facade system is still in existence.
Check this one out. You press the little red lightning bolt and you get red lightning. You press the white lightning bolt, you get white lightning.
I don't think we'll be doing the team minis. As cool as it would be.
Future.
It's just very hard to justify trying to sell our faces instead of something that's more applicable to people's games.
Yes. Well, especially when there's so many ways to get player minis and custom player minis and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about... Oh, wait, just do this. Roll this giveaway. And then we can talk about
this. Well, it's been going long enough. We got people in it. Yeah, we have over 100 people entered, so...
That should do it. Good luck to all 100 of you.
Good luck, everyone. How about a magnetic portrait frame that we could put on your own pictures to?
Sounds good.
Yeah, go ahead and make it. When are we getting t-shirts? I actually don't know what the status on merch is. I feel like we've been ready to launch it for a while. I don't know when it's actually happening. Alright, let's roll this giveaway.
Huh. I was just looking in the wrong...
Mr. Tixt.
Woo!
Mr. Tixt, congratulations on the win. I'm gonna whisper you real quick. Hey there. I'm just gonna need to get your email for your store account, and we can get that set up. Oh god, the chat is moving fast.
Oh, this is where I couldn't find any of my... Oh, Do I have a biscuit? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We are.
Oh my god, what did I do?
Oh, nobody gets a giveaway
Put it in
today.
the cons-
Oh. We'll have to donate it to the Double Doors Memorial Fund.
Beautiful. Okay. Wait, did it roll another one? What?
No, Mr. Mixelplix one.
Yeah, Mr. Tixt one. I don't know how that ended. I was typing and it for some reason I'm sorry.
Are you saying that the computers have turned on you? Skynet is aware?
I went typing and it instead of the words going in, it uh just a lot started happening.
It's gonna be
I
okay.
wasn't in control of most of it. Mr. Tixt won the giveaway. I'm sorry. Keep typing.
It would have
I'm
been.
gonna put this computer away now.
Did it in the second giveaway? Did it say 6-1? Because then you
No.
know it's a malfunction. Okay.
Yeah. No, it was Raven Sky, and I feel bad.
All right. So.
Can we do a third giveaway? God, Jay will kill me. Okay.
We will.
Right.
So one of the things we're endeavoring to do, is we want better multi-level building and play, particularly if you have players that are in a multi-story building and they want to go up to the next floor and whatever, you want to pull stuff up as one unit. So we, after a lot of trials and tribulations, some of which we showed on here, right? We had our oh man, where is it? We have our wait, I have it. Where are the pegs? Hold on. What did I attach when? Yes. Okay. Ugh. We have our paired peg system that we used for our. Oh, I turned the lights off for the light puck. This is paired pegs system, right? 2 parallel metal pegs that we use for our suspension bridge, our docks, a bunch of stuff in Wildlands has it, and the like, right? So we really, oops, I'm not on camera. I gotta go wider. There we go. Right, so it lets you attach stuff like this rocky outcrop there and move it around as one piece. Our original plan was to put that paired peg system in the sides of all the floors, right? So we just suddenly have at every 2 inches, centered on every 2 inches would be another pair of paired pegs. And we ran into some manufacturing challenges. The factory was worried that because the Dwarvenite expands and contracts a little bit and isn't 100% controllable, it's a little bit organic. It's really hard to line up anything like multiple pairs of holes on the same side of multiple pieces, all with precision, right? So this isn't like ABS doesn't shrink. It's like you can be millimeter precise with like ABS plastic, which is what Legos are made out of and Warlock and a lot of that stuff. But we don't enjoy the feel. It doesn't have as much heft. It doesn't have the same feel as Dwarvenite. It's not quite as resilient. We've used it for castle stuff. There's definitely places like big long runs of things that you need to have be super rigid and precise. Great, but we wanted to keep doing everything in Dwarvenite. So the pairs of paired pegs weren't going to work, and those we worked out these little H pegs, which was like a pair of paired pegs joined by a piece of metal so that they could be inserted or removed as one thing. But then they weren't working super well as the holes weren't going to get to line up or whatever. So that turned into a wider slot that's like a biscuit slot. We're calling it biscuit. Let's just have like a little biscuit joiner. So it's this little guy. We had a bigger one, and this is the smaller one, and the smaller one works just as well, and it's less obtrusive. So we're going to essentially have slots. Actually, we have some ox here. The slot looks something like that. Looks kind of like a hot dog, because there's like a. Let me go. See the hot dogginess of it? Anybody want to guess why it is hot dog shaped? Or it's more like a pig in a blanket or something, right? It's like the.
Bring back the hot dog.
So the magic here is that it takes our biscuit in the bun part of the hot dog there, and then you can affix any two things together. Let's see if this works. Why is that one not working? These are just some 3D printed bits. Maybe it'll work there. Let's see. Yeah, we actually have one we're casting in Dwarvenite right now, so we can test. Right, so you can be able to join stuff together. Yay! It's super rigid. But the reason for the hot dog bits are so that you can use your paired pegs. Is this H peg gonna work? Let's try this thing. Is you can use will it work? Will it work? Oh, I'm gonna totally shatter this piece. It'll be awesome. Well, you get the idea. I don't know. This is a 3D mock that Toby printed out.
Oh, yeah,
it may not be exact. But conceptually, it'll take it there. But you can. It'll let you then use your paired pegs and connect this stuff to your Wildlands stuff and vice versa. Whatnot. So that gives us backwards compatibility, but with forward biscuit fun. Oh yeah, look at that. See, so it'll let you. Let's go wide. So it's going to let you attach, so you can have like our new scaffolds run to your Wildlands bits, or to your old docks, or to your suspension bridge, or whatnot, and then build out from there. So that it's gonna open up a whole world of compatibility for folks. Should be pretty cool. Right, so you can do all sorts of suspended bits of nonsense. So anyway, the idea is that these will we're gonna have these little biscuit or hot dog holes for biscuits on all of the floors, so you can join your floors together. Ugh. There's no give in this 3D print material, right? So you can join your floors together if you're doing some weird shapes or using some larger bits and smaller bits and whatever. You can join stuff together, stick some biscuits there, slap it all together, and lift off the second level. You don't have to use them, right? You can build the same old way, just using gravity, just throwing stuff together, throwing stuff on the ground. But if you'd like to, it's going to let you do all sorts of connectivity, which I think is going to it's going to make any sort of intricate building so much cooler, and it's going to let you string things together in really fun ways. Are there any biscuit questions?
Any thoughts on selling paired pegs, etc., separately?
Yes, we should definitely have some. There's a few things we need. It's like magnets, paired pegs, the little pins that connect your light panels. Yes, a couple of, right, because sometimes it's hard to come by extra pegs, especially if you lose them or whatever. Yes.
Zath called the paired pegs thing. Is wondering if he gets a cookie for it.
Sure. Yeah. Come on over. We'll get you your cookie.
Yeah, go get yourself a cookie.
It's in Chris's laptop there. If you type some stuff, it'll give you a cookie.
I'm not touching that laptop until the stream's over.
It's gonna give cookies to everybody. It's just gonna. Good job on getting the paired pegs.
Multiple questions wondering if there's going to be biscuit plugs to cover showing floor faces.
Yes, if it's problematic, yes, we will have a little something. We disguised. Let me see if I have the thing. Hello. Bob?
You got the mic?
Can you see? No.
Yeah.
I think we're even up on it right now. You can sort of. Here, let's see if I do this.
Dark Lord Fenrir, the anchor magnets, you can buy them from places, like they're fairly common magnets. Do we have a thing for the sizing of them on the...
Chuck just bundled up some magnets for the web store. I think we're going to have them up very shortly. But I think they're 3mm diameter, but I don't know. Could ask customer service. But he literally just the other day said, hey, we have a bunch of magnets. Let's give him a skew and put him up and give him his thing that people want to buy.
Awesome.
I don't know if you can see in the upper right there. There is we kind of put a. This was Eli's attempt to hide the hot dog holes with some diagonal. So there'd be some diagonal carvings on the sides that would then have the hole inside. And then I think we had something similar. Let's see if you can see it on the. You can sort of see. All right, this was the plan for the side of the fancy stone floor. Right, is essentially hide it in the sculpt. There, those like those diamonds. Oh, what is that? It's like not even a trapezoid. It's I guess a weird weird hexagon or something.
It's a hexagon. It's just a long boy.
Yeah, the old long boy hexagon. Anyway, so we have some plans to conceal them in the sculpting, but should it prove to be an eyesore, it's not hard to make a little patch that you can put on there. So we sent that 2x4 wood floor to the factory, and we're gonna tool it and cast it in Dwarvenite and make a bunch of it and test the system in Dwarvenite and see what it looks like. Paint it up and see what it looks like and see if it's an eyesore. So that is a good question. Or whoever asked.
I think that's the biggest question people have had, basically.
Yeah. No, we want these to look good, and I think that, I think generally it'll be more visible and more of a problem on the second stories and stuff when you're up higher and you can see, like, if they're up here and they're more visible and they're irksome, then we'll have some. But we have this we have a post and wall facade system also, which might help that as well, which we'll look at in a sec. If there's any other biscuit questions. That was about a year ago today. I thought we were talking about biscuits on the air, weren't we? Like, we definitely showed off.
We've been talking about this for a year.
Probably.
We wrapped. We genuinely might have.
Yeah, we wrapped Wildlands in August.
Yeah, January. God, it's January. January 2021. I think we did have our preliminary because we had we had the summit for it in December.
Yeah, so then we probably was in January. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had our first cities on the Anvil in December or January.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And that the biscuits are going everywhere, right? So they're going to be in the scaffolding system. We'll have biscuits, and where are they? The modular roofs will have biscuits. So then, you'll be able to, because everything's going to have the biscuits, you'll be able to attach, I guess it's a bad example. Let me use a, do I have one of the straights that's in with the biscuit? I have so many old versions and new versions. Here we go.
Okay, so we've got two other biscuit questions/comments. Finley was wondering if we can get angled biscuits to potentially do scaffolds that are at an angle, so you can have rising scaffolds.
Oh wow, so far we only have perpendicular biscuits, but that is certainly an interesting.
I've got a thought for a way it might be able to work, but I'm not educated.
So the idea is you'll be able to biscuit the roofs to the sides of buildings. So this could be like an attic, right? If you had two of these, if you had these biscuited on either side and all around, right? This would be, you'd have another roof level coming up here, but you could lift that off to reveal like this little attic, and then lift this whole thing off to reveal the floor down below and whatnot. So biscuits are going to be connecting everything.
And then Tempulus is wondering if instead of putting plugs inside to hide the biscuit holes, if maybe the facades would be able to cover it.
Yeah, depending on the design of the facades, for sure.
And then he's wondering if we can call those facades gravy.
I don't get it.
So you've got biscuits and gravy.
Oh.
That's the joke.
Yeah. No, we're not. No. But yeah, no. They're always better. Jokes are better when you have to explain them. It's definitely like really makes the thing sink in.
Yeah, my favorite part of jokes is really just breaking them down analytically.
It really brings the humor
Yeah.
out. Like you can really then savor it at that point. So this is
All my favorite jokes have been peer reviewed, which
so
I guess is just doing an open mic.
yeah. See if anybody laughs.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then walking off in shame.
yeah.
So this is the idea. But I was talking about the floors will have the 2x2 floors will have holes, so you can basically take your 2x2 and make it into a wall or a corner. Boy, this is a heck of a mix and match. Painted, unpainted, Tudor, and stone all in one thing. So it gives you lots of flexibility. All right, what were the other biscuit and gravy questions?
I think that's let's see. Are there any other? I don't think there are any other questions.
All right. So then the
People generally excited. NPC Charles was very excited about being able to put the roofs on the sides of the building.
oh yeah, these roofs
I
are
think that's gonna be.
they're bonkers. Like we're gonna be able to do some really
You're gonna be able to do so many different shapes that we've never been able to do before, man.
yes, and the idea is that you'll be able to cover everything, all of your old buildings plus all your new buildings with this one system. We're gonna be able to cover everything. It should be really it's gonna be really neat. We'll have a couple other roof options like that thatched roof.
Do you have a Do you have a thing to jump to right now, or can we take two more questions that aren't
more
about the
questions? No, we can go.
McGreg is wondering if we have any thoughts on what cottage sets for Cities 2 are going to look like.
Define cottage set.
I guess those were kind of like the basic core when we initially
Oh,
started.
the cottage set from the store where it's just it's a
Yeah.
floor. It's like it's basically a 4x4
Enough to make
building.
a box house. Yeah.
No idea yet. We're a long way off from actual sets and compositions.
Actually, we can probably get into that, or we can probably get closer to answering the question when we get to the offer part of this too.
Yeah.
Seth is wondering if we're going to have unpainted options.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything will be available, painted and unpainted.
People are wondering why we're doing biscuits instead of magnets, and it's because of the weight.
Yes.
The magnets are much more likely to give out and have your building fall in on itself. The biscuits will not do that.
Well, shearing force, magnets aren't so great with shearing force, right? Like these wouldn't be able to hold, you wouldn't be able to hold these with, if we had really strong rare earth magnets in 4 spots on both, and it was magnet to magnet, and we could control the polarity, and then maybe, but we're in a magnet to metal sort of situation. We can't control the polarity. We're in a magnet to metal sort of situation on 1 or 2 points. It does not work so well. We love magnets. We'll use them wherever it makes sense. But this was like we wanted something very firm that we could do a whole bunch of stuff with.
Jay Noggles, the Kickstarter will not be going up in 2023. We're planning on this being like Q3 this year is what we were thinking.
Yes, after Gen Con.
When Nate said 2023 earlier, he meant like that's when we'd likely be shipping, not when the Kickstarter would be live.
Correct.
Yeah. Let's see. Finley's saying, not biscuit related, but was looking at the inserts into the post for the walls. Can we get a chimney wall piece? So inside is a fireplace, maybe LED, but the outside protrudes as a chimney stack.
Maybe. Better to just make the chimney as a magnetic thing you could stick on there and then put on anything.
We've already got the magnet smokestats for the roofs.
Often called chimneys, but yeah.
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 Is a smokestack and a chimney are the same thing, right?
A smokestack's more industrial. This tends to be longer, gets you higher up. And
Nerdbotcher is wondering if we're gonna have any farm scatter. There's currently not a plan
not
for that. We're
not
doing
much.
More like the heart of the city.
It's very, very urban, right? We were talking about, are we doing frontier? Are we doing city? Are we doing through? And it basically ended up being city. I was lobbying early on. I was like, we should do the frontier. We can kind of work our way back in. We go from wildlands to the frontiers, whatever. But it made more sense when we were looking at the whole offer just to be let's be fully on in the city. It's like fully urban, very little rural outskirts, frontier stuff. We get there. some point. What was I just gonna? I was gonna just show something about. I don't know. Well, let's look at. Oh, we were gonna look at the. Let's look at the facades. So
Yes.
the do I have any? Let me see if I have any. Oh yeah. We got a whole wealth. Oh yeah, these guys also work with the hot dogs. All right. So. One day I'm gonna get really organized.
Any compatibility with reliquaries planned?
Maybe.
I think some of the reliquaries you could probably drop in the city and have them work.
We were looking at base. We were looking at base B, and the charging station, and we've got some stuff. I don't know how it's all gonna pan out yet, but yeah. All right, so the plan currently is to have our new ouch. Our new corner post may never. Holy moly! This
That's a lot of questions.
So the plan for the new corner posts is that we've same geometry as the old corner posts, but now with 3 new holes. So we'll have a hole in the top that will be normal corner post diameter size for stacking. Although we may have killed that. No, I think we still have it.
I thought we still had them there so you could
you can
make more secure stacks.
Stack,
Did we
but
not?
there's we may end up killing it because we haven't actually used it. But the
I guess it might not actually be necessary.
side there will be holes on the sides which will be the smaller diameter. This is the 3.5 millimeter, and this is 2 millimeter, I think. But it's the pole accessory diameter, so it'll be smaller than these ones. And that's the reason for that is twofold. So one is it'll let you connect the corner posts to each other. Oh boy, this is never going to come apart if I do this. Let me get a Dwarven one. These are better mocks. So it'll let you. Well, you can see I riddled this one with holes. Look at that. It's like I got happy with a drill. So it'll let you stick them together and create double corner posts without having to actually make specialty double or triple or quadruple corner posts. Right? You can connect them to get laterally with these pegs, and then have that help bridge if you're connecting multiple buildings together. You can use that to bridge those two buildings, and then in conjunction with the biscuits, if you want really secure, if you're doing some big wacky thing, you throw a couple of biscuits in there, and then you peg the posts together and put them in there, and then you have like multiple. You'd have 4 points of connection here, so you'll have like a really sturdy. You can lift the thing off really easily as a multi-part unit. So that's one awesome thing, and it lets you go 2-way, 3-way, 4-way, and the like, without having to have other specialty posts. The other neat feature is decorative. Is it lets you do attach little facades like this. So in this case, this one is a pole accessory holder. All right, so you can
Put ravens on it.
Yeah, put a little gargoyle on there, put a little water spout, whatever. It lets you put some decor on your corner posts. We have what's this thing? Doesn't have it in there, but this would be like this would have metal in there, so it'd be a magnetic version. So you could put right, you have some sort of cool. You could put your in sign hanging off the corner of your corner post or whatever from there. And then if you have 2 of them, it lets you do larger facades, like something like this, right? So this can let you decorate up a wall, so you could just have one that's purely decorative, or you could use it in this case, like you could create an open archway or something, or if you're doing a double high, it can help hold together your double high posts, keep them from splaying. All right, let's do it right now. So it gives you visuals. We're going to have a lot of sort of smaller, more affordable pieces that give you a lot of decorative capabilities without having to be larger and more expensive.
Yeah, people really want us to do like fancy stone runes.
Yeah, we'll get there. Everything in ruins will be a...
Everything will be in runes eventually. Give us enough time and
Yeah.
we'll do everything.
If we keep shipping it back and forth, eventually it'll all fall off a boat and
Yeah.
it'll be ruined in the bottom of the ocean.
Next time a rat gets into one of the pieces, we just leave it.
Oh. So that's the...
Does the arch work with the balcony?
Which balcony? Oh yeah,
Sure.
yes.
Oh, like if you put the
Yes.
like if you slot that balcony piece in. That's a really good. I would love to see that actually.
Whoever that is, they get a cookie. They
That's superb Mario Bros. He's
Nice.
fairly new to the community, but really appreciate his name. I've seen him on. I think he's on the Discord too.
And I would appreciate some Girl Scout cookies, but
Oh yeah, those are on sale again.
Aw.
I should have put that in the news segment.
well, so this one's not. This one's hitting
It's for
here.
halflings.
Yeah, we have to do it upside down.
But we could probably make a few adjustments to make it actually fit.
Yeah, well, this is just a mock. This isn't actually a sculpt.
Yeah.
This is just.
So that's something to possibly keep in mind when we're designing it if we want it to be compatible.
Huh. Yeah, I could get you. But yeah, conceptually, if it was high enough, you could do something. Yeah, it's a good question. I like that.
Finley says, or put the posts in upside down, and those upside down arches suddenly become the ribs on the bottom of a ship hold.
Oh.
People are really desperate for us to do ships.
People like Topulous people.
That's not even Topulous. Greg's wondering if facades will be Dwarvenite or ABS. We're doing Dwarvenite, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they would be very easy to break if they were ABS. Because they're kind of thin.
No, ABS is pretty sturdy, but yeah.
Vertex is wondering if we can flip over the facade and place it on the inside for wainscoting.
Except
need to
there's
go look at the
a
holes
lot
there.
of problems. Yeah, it's gonna be too. It's gonna be
wide
too
on the
long.
inside.
It's 4 inches. It's a clean 4 inches. That would be neat if there was a. No, it'd have to be. It'd have to be what half. I don't know. It's 3. It's just over 3 inches or just under 3 inches.
Nate, out
Oh,
of
this one is-
curiosity, so we're having the factory make those floors for us. Are we having them paint them, or are we having them just?
No,
cast
they're
it?
just casting it, and we're gonna paint them.
Okay. I was wondering if we might be able to get like an idea of what the painting cost would be ahead of time.
No, because we have to get our paint job. We have
Fair.
to figure out the paint job. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah. Well, you're still.
Because yeah, people are wondering what the painting markup will be. The answer is we don't know yet.
All we know is that it keeps going up.
Yeah.
So we're, it's one of the things we've been really conscious about in this is how do we, is there anything we can do to reduce the paint costs? Like, are there any steps that are extraneous? Is anything?
I know for one thing, compared to Wildlands, because yeah, Wildlands had a big painting markup, but a lot of that was like Wildlands was covered in all these little plants and tiny details and a lot of time-consuming stuff. Whereas, one strength is that Cities pieces, generally speaking, are simpler in that respect. But it's still, the reality is the cost of painting is going up.
The cost of everything's going up.
Yeah. Funny how that works. Is that corner facade piece able to support an LED? Yeah, I think the
No.
issue would be not being able to put a battery in.
Yeah, the battery is the problem. We could have like a really big, if you had like a big honking one, but at that point, yeah, it's well, it would be cool if you could have a little lamppost coming up.
Are we gonna give away any of the prototype floors?
Maybe. Yeah, let's get them in hand
Uh,
first, and then we can start getting crazy.
Yeah. Night of the Phoenix, we don't want to commit to saying whether or not it's going to be less than Wildlands markup, just because the reality
Can't-
is we don't.
No idea.
No.
We won't know until we launch what we're looking at.
We're trying to do everything we can to not suddenly be slapped with a super expensive paint job. But we also still need to make this stuff look nice enough that people are going to want it, you know?
Yeah. We will find the Hamster and Aaron, and they're working hard on trying to figure out what we can do. Also thinking about it as we sculpt, like what what can we do that makes make it count, make each of those paint steps count.
MDMA says shouldn't say it, but I'm surprised the prices in the store haven't gone up, which is a good point. We should raise those.
Let's get on that.
No, just right now. Just Tyler, are you listening? No, but it's because the prices are grandfathered, right?
Yeah, but at some point we'll have to raise our prices.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to keep it as long as we can where it is.
Okay, there's still stuff we need to cover. We should stop. Some people were wondering. So you mentioned the sculpted ground. Do you want to talk about what that is, or do you want to save that for later?
We can show one.
We don't have anything to show.
Or do we? I mean, I don't physically have it, but I have pictures. Look at this. We will have. Here's a neat thing.
Yeah, Charles. Unfortunately, offering like a premium and a standard paint job isn't really an option for us. If we do painted, we have to like do one. No. So otherwise, it just overcomplicates things way too much. Oh yeah, here we go. We're
gonna have a cobblestone option. This is this cool design that Eli came up with that makes these circles. It has 1-inch squares, but it creates circular patterns, and it can kind of repeat infinitely. And it's a really cool one. It's a neat thing he came up with there. You can sort of see there's nice variation in depth and distress, and it should look pretty cool.
What's the plan with this exactly? Like, what do you see being built with this?
Streets. I mean,
so streets,
sidewalks.
This thing is like
you could build either. You could either use like a terrain tray or battle board or battle mat, and then use this to make sidewalks. So raised up sidewalks over a negative space thing, or you could pave your whole city with these and then build on top of them all willy-nilly, or you could pave your city with them and build in line with them, or you could do some sort of neat combo where you could have negative space like dirt and mud or whatever, and then have some kind of nice walkways in between some of the buildings, or like a garden area or whatever. It would make a nice walkway up to like your villa or something.
You could use it to like differentiate different parts of the town, based on like what their floors are. Yak is wondering if they match with the current streets.
Different style.
Dimension wise, it's going to be the same dimensions.
Same dimension, different style. Right, we've done a ton. There's a huge collection for the existing streets. We wanted to do something new, give people a different texture to work with.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. Let's look at.
Wilderness is saying it's gonna make a good temple floor, which is not something I'd thought of.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like an old, because it's got some irregularities, right? So it could be like an older, right? It's been around for a while. It's like a neat. It's a good one.
Laurie says you can use them in conjunction with the forest floor pieces to make surrounded gardens.
Yep. You can make this the path through the forest floors or whatever. For sure. Yeah, it's gonna be there. They will be a good little toolbox. Do we want to talk about the zones first, and then look at we got a couple.
Oh, like the breakdowns beyond like the wood and stone, but kind of like what we envisioned doing with both the wood and the stone. Yeah, let's go over that a bit.
And then I have a couple of fiddly bits that Michelle sculpted. We can look at.
Oh, somebody also, I can't remember if we actually talked about this or not. Somebody asked earlier if we were doing spiral stairs.
We'll see.
Okay.
We have it's one of the things on the wish list, but the wish list is long.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Let's get into the zones.
So we have 6 zones of the city that we're targeting, that we're using to kind of drive our, sort of rein in our creative madness, right? So we're thinking fundamentally, if we can make these 6 zones, that's all we're gonna cover in this Kickstarter. So we have 3 zones in Hightown, it's the wealthy, the well-to-do, or the rich part of town, and 3 zones in Lowtown, which is the commoners' quarter. So we have in Hightown, we have the Sacred Square area, which is right temples and cathedrals and abbey and with garden and whatnot, roadside shrine, memorial, that sort of stuff. We have the Arcane Ward, where you get your Strixhaven Magic School, your Wizard's Tower, your Artificer's Workshop, the Royal Library, that sort of bit. And then we have the sort of the manor area where you have your nobleman's villa, your merchant's guild house, your dwarven I don't know what's the dwarf house called, like a dwarf dwarf house.
Dwarf's house, a hovel.
Dwarf house, Haus.
Are dwarves German?
Yeah.
Isn't that portrayed as German?
Yeah, you've never seen me play a Durgar.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take your
they're
word for it.
clearly German.
Oh, a dwelling is probably right.
Yeah, a dwarf dwelling, vampire mansion. Be a good.
My initial instinct was hovel, but I think that is more like halfling than dwarf.
Yeah. Dwarf dwelling. So then we have Lowtown. We have the hearth area, which is all the common residences. So it's farmhouses and townhouses and inns and taverns. It's where the common folk live and congregate. We have the tradeway, which will be the shops, the markets, the sort of the city, the town square, city gate area where there's a lot of commerce and travel, and then dockside, which is the shady part of town, the place you're most likely to get stabbed, shivved, robbed, mugged, murdered, all of the above, curb stomped, whatever. All of it happens there. That's where you find your Thieves Guild and your abandoned warehouses, and maybe during the day there's some legitimate dock work going on, but at night the bars are deadly and the streets, the alleys are deadlier. It's the slums. What?
I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. I don't know.
It's gonna be awesome. We have this city is gonna be killer. We're gonna have really neat stuff. So, any questions about the zones? If we didn't list it, we're not making it. Those are the 6 zones. That's the zoning permit. That's all we have. The city hall wouldn't give us more beyond that.
It's really wild to think about it. Like, to even like say that we're doing 6 different zones, I'm just like thinking about, I'm like, are we gonna have enough SKUs for that?
Yeah.
But like, just the fact that, well, because like the approach to the Kickstarter, and I guess this is like kind of a fun thing to talk about. Like the approach for this Kickstarter from very early on was this idea of like, what is the fewest amount of basic building blocks that will let us make
The maximum.
the most different things.
Turns out that number is like 100, but it was.
Yeah, but
when
like
it,
when you look at all the stuff we can make, like
yeah,
just the idea of like, okay, so like what materials can apply to a bunch of
yeah.
different places when you just change like a little bit of furniture or something.
Well, it
Like,
is to make these,
yeah.
making a bunch of toolbox sets. The scaffold, like the scaffolding collection, like you can be able to do so much with those wood planks. The courtyard walls, it's 5 pieces that let you do a whole bunch of things, from animal pens to little gardens to small town walls to the villa grounds to whatever, like a cemetery gates. Like it's just all like all these things are cool toolboxes, which then we decorate up and we give a lot of flair and flavor. But it's gonna be
we
pretty
got a
neat.
lot of we got a lot of questions about accessories and scatter dressing. Which
Yes.
yes, we are going to have accessories and scatter for all these zones, to flavor it. Uh, and a lot of that scatter is also like very creative and isn't just like, because there's a lot of people making dressing out there, but we've really been kind of thinking about like how do we make dressing that also functions and has like interesting gameplay elements to it. And we've got a couple really cool things. We've shown one of them before.
That's the thing I like.
Yeah.
Whenever we can, we say, is there a gameplay element to this? Like, is it just decorative, or is there a way? Can this affect play in some way? That's generally the driver. If you're like deciding between two things, is like, well, do either of them affect the table? Right? Does that change the story in an interesting way? And that'll be often the deciding point. We have an enormously long list of dressing. We'll see how much of it we actually have time to make, but it's some really fun bits. Why don't we look at a couple of things? Speaking of,
Yeah, absolutely. The only other thing I can think of outside of showing this remaining stuff is talking about like the offer and pledge structure.
yes. So here's some window inserts that Michelle has been working on. This is so there's
I love the shutters.
boarded up window. So maybe it's an abandoned building, maybe it's something is trapped inside, maybe to barricade out against the zombies, or maybe it's just a plank you want to stick out and put somewhere else to be useful. This thing is wild. This is a shelf insert that also turns sideways and becomes a window box. That is like I can't even show you how awesomely modular this thing is. It's gonna be such a crowd pleaser. It's the green stuff master there, and then this is like a lattice work window insert to class up your building. So fun little bits there. But this, I'm so excited for this. So this is, you ready for some trash?
I love trash.
Yeah. So this is, we can zoom in a little bit. This is modular trash. So this is a, no, it's
I like,
killer.
I like building up the whole like. We really want to make sure when we make scatter that it serves a gameplay function and it is more than just scatter. It's like some trash.
So you ready for it? So it is. On one side, it is relatively neat and intact and the like. If you throw it up against a wall, it becomes supplies for your tavern or whatever your trade house or whatnot, or your market stall. The back side is much more dilapidated, broken. So you flip it around, throw it against the wall. Now it clutters up your alleyway, has some refuse or whatnot. You throw it in the middle of a street. It becomes a barricade. You can string them together. It has 2 flat sides. Like you can join it from the back right, the back front, or right or left. So you can string them together to make like a Les Mis style barricade. You're gonna have a little pole accessory hole up in there, so you can pop a pole accessory in there. You want to throw your arbalist on the barricade and like fight off the zombie hordes. Have at it. And there's flat spots you can stand a mini on there. So it's like that's a boat. That's fun.
Wait, is there a raccoon in there?
Yes. There is.
Oh no! You're showing the boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna it will be So it could be, there could be stuff hidden in there. It could be trash. It could be something waiting to jump out. It could be a barricade. Could be a place to dive for cover. So pretty amazing, absolutely miniature work by Michelle. Very excited for this trash.
Yeah, I love this trash.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be people are gonna be clamoring for more trash.
You're gonna eat this trash up.
They are. It's gonna be like a cookie. All right, so we got. Let's talk about the offer.
Yes.
Quickly.
So, I think the biggest thing, and I'm really excited about this. It's something that's kind of been like. We've had like a couple complaints, largely around stretch goals. Like as long as
let's talk about
let's talk about
this.
Find, like, a way.
Let's talk about the sets before stretch goals. So the idea is, we're trying to make. I was kind of endeavoring to do this in Wildlands, and the wheels went off the bus quickly and abandoned it early on. But it was also harder because it was organic, so I think it might work here. But the idea is we're trying to make a bunch of fundamental packs, which then we use to make all the other packs, right? So there'll be a wooden floors pack, and a stone floors pack, and a wooden base walls pack, and a stone base walls pack, and a wood advanced builders or whatever, double high, yada yada yada, on and on. But then you just mix and match those packs to then, the inn is just one of each of those packs. The huge the guild hall is 6 of those packs, plus the inn has the tavern dressing, the guild hall has the tavern dressing plus the tables and chairs dressing or whatever. I'm just making up sets, whatever. But you just keep using this, essentially mix and matching the same sets to create a variety of things that'll be both pledges or add-ons. So you can just buy, anytime we show you a thing, we can just pull it from, hey, it's these 8 sets. Here are the sets you need. If you want to make this thing, make sure you just get these 8 sets or whatever. So the idea is it's kind of mix and match modular sets that we're using to kind of build everything else out, which is going to make it easier on the factory also. So that's step 1. Step 2 is kind of modular stretch goals, in that we're trying to let everybody participate in the stretch goals, right? That was the big complaint Chris was talking about. If people were like, listen, I go in at the $10 build your own level, I spend $5,000 and I don't get any of the stretch goals. That's a bummer. Like, can you fix it? So the plan is to let every pledge also be an a la carte pledge, so that your $500 pledge lets you get, hey, you could either get this elaborate temple, Ashlar Temple, or this cool Dockside Thieves Guild, or just take those $500 and go a la carte if you want. But whichever you choose, you're getting 3 boxes of stretch goals with this pledge. And then the idea is the boxes of stretch goals will fill up as the campaign goes on. And then you will have a couple of different flavors. So there'll be a wooden flavor, a stone flavor, like an accessories flavor, whatever. So you can choose. You know what? I'm going for the wooden thing with all the Thieves Guild for this $500 pledge. So I want all wooden stretch goals. Or you know what? I want 2 wood and 1 accessories. Or you know what? Because I'm getting all wood there, I want the stone to get a little flavor of the stone or whatever. So it lets us kind of put more building pieces in the wood and stone, and then more interesting dressing pieces in the accessories. So then you can kind of tailor what you want to add to your which free things you want to add to your pledge via stretch goals. So then, no matter how you do it, and you don't have to pick, right? You're like, I think I want to go in for $500. You don't have to pick to get the pledge manager anyway. You're like, well, maybe I'm going to go a la carte. Maybe I'll get the one of those pre-made sets. And then you don't have to pick it to the pledge manager. But either way, you're getting those 3 buckets of stretch goals that come with your pledge. And obviously, all these numbers are just made up. We're just giving the concept. And then additionally, this lets us, if we're using these fundamental packs, as we unlock some more interesting, or not more interesting, some different sets, we can add other options to your pledge. So let's say we gate the courtyard walls, and we're not going to do the courtyard walls until we hit 1.5 million, because we don't want to make all these molds unless we're funding enough. So as soon as we hit that, we say, you know what? Now that we have the courtyard walls, you can make for the same $500, we can make a cool abbey and garden, and give that as an option. So for your $500 pledge, you can choose either that. What were the made of examples I had? I don't know, a thieves guild or a shrine or this abbey and garden. Or of course you can just take the $500 a la carte and pick whatever you want. Because then if you see, Toby does a build that's 8 sets that are $500, you could just choose that, take that recipe. We'll say, hey, it was these sets you built. Choose that, just go a la carte and pick those things. Boom. But either way, you're getting a choice of stretch goals, and you can choose your flavors of stretch goals. So hopefully it gives everybody ultimate flexibility, but it won't make the factory go crazy. What, somebody?
Toculus is wondering, while you're making up numbers, what do we need to hit for modular ships?
5 million.
Really?
I don't know. If we hit 5 million, we could talk. Have his people call my people if we hit 5 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you talking like full on galleons, like not like a little boat, but like a ship? Right. Ship might be 6 million.
He said modular ships. Yeah.
Ships. Well, you see
modular boats, like we.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
That's way easier than ships.
How about a raft? How about a
modular raft? That's just the scaffolding system without anything attached to it.
But no, it has a rudder and a mast. What if we gave you a mast for the scaffolding system, and then you could put that mast in your bayou barge from Wildlands because we have a mast hole in it, and then say you buying it?
I'm sure that works.
Okay.
How
does that sit with people? Does that plan sound? Does that sound?
So far it seemed like. Oh, the one question I saw was, would you be able to buy the stretch goals, in like as their own pack?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. We'll have to see. We've never actually done that. We've talked about it, but we haven't ever actually done it. We'll see we'll see what the packs end up being by the time all the dust settles, right? Because we don't know what the packs are going to look like until the Kickstarter ends. We don't know if they work, if they're standalone desirable, or I don't know. We'll have to see what they are. It's hard to say now. But you can always get more by up pledging.
Chuck and Michelle are alluding to an inside joke that I'm not aware of, I don't think. They're saying that we need Eli's boat, and Michelle is putting boat in quotation marks as though it's not really a boat.
Oh, okay, wait. Now I need to yeah.
What is this?
Okay, this is a big spoiler. We are
wait, what? Is this actually Kickstarter related?
Yeah, no, this is a very important.
Did Chuck and Michelle just get them another bean again? I feel like Michelle always pushes you to like show stuff that she's working on that we haven't shown yet.
She's good that way.
Yeah. What?
All right, this is we're going full spoiler.
Well, I'm gone. That's fine. I can be in the void.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Are you back now? There you go. All right, so we were actually looking at a boat we did development the other day. Was it last week, Michelle? I don't know. We were talking about a boat. We were kind of brainstorming. Eli quickly drew it up to see it, of like, should we do it? And everybody was like, oh yeah, we have to. Like, so boat confirmed. Here's what we're making. For our this will be our confirmed boat for Cities 2.
Is it the cow launcher?
It's the Unicorn Megadeer modular raft crane cow hoist with sail. You can't tell, but it's modular, as you can see in the middle, and it's a
modular seam.
Yeah, and it's a rare combination of a unicorn and a megadeer as a masthead with a cow launching hoist in the back, and I think it's a wind turbine on the back to propel it further. Also, just so you can go faster. It's gnomish technology, clearly. So, 6 mil, we can bring this baby to life. And it gets your unicorn in there, gets your mega deer in there, and the cow is very thrilled to be part of this. Like it really, it's everything you need in one place, and a sail. So, checkmate. I forgot.
Everybody's saying they would buy it. Here's the thing. It reminds me of in the last Bones Kickstarter, Reaper had this big 3-headed troll mini that just has a teddy bear on its belt. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Every time Nate says a number, it's higher. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well,
This needs to be the last stretch goal. If we bust through everything we imagined,
we have this. I'm glad you reminded us. A good call, Chuck and Michelle. It was that thing is awesome.
It seems like so far people are saying that they're all good. That they're all good with the system. I guess the follow-up question would be, if you can't buy the stretch goal packs, how do you get them to the web store? And I think the pieces would still be available in other packs. It's just not sure whether the exact stretch goal compositions, those buckets, would be viable.
Yeah, I don't think it would be any I don't think we would have any pieces in there that weren't in a pack somewhere else. But I don't. It's all hypothetical right now. We haven't actually made any of these sets, whatever. It's just we're trying to figure out our approach of how we want to do it, and this feels like the way that gives you guys as backers as much flexibility as possible in choosing not only what packs you're getting, but also what stretch goals you're getting. Gives us the ease of fulfillment if we only have to make whatever, a small, a medium, a large bucket of stretch goals in a couple of flavors is not so killer. And then if all of our core sets, even with this modular set idea, it's I don't know, I sketched it out the other day. It was 70 sets or something, but then 70 sets that can build everything. You mix and match them into all sorts of different ways, which should be kind of fun. Especially because then every time we build a thing, you can have the recipe. We say, hey, there was this set, and we got this. So
you know what I'm most excited about with us doing this pledge structure? We've always struggled with restocking encounters in the past because of the size of them and everything.
Well, that was...
But, with the way that we're approaching this, if these, larger builds, if this temple or whatever is all made up of existing add-on packs,
yes,
we can have those bundles in the store as long as those packs that make it up are in stock.
And if we just run out of 2 of the packs, we only have to order 2 of the packs rather than all 26 packs that are in it. We can't order, the Necromancer's Keep is debilitating to reorder because it's too big. But if that thing was made up of 24 smaller sets and we ran out of 4 of them, it's easy. It's more feasible to restock those 4 sets, which are then also in some other things, and then be able to reoffer the Necromancer's Keep, for instance.
Taculus is wondering if you'll be able to get multiple pledges in the pledge manager.
Yes.
And yeah, basically the way it works is whatever amount you want to put into it, you kind of just put yourself in at the pledge that is at the highest pledge that fits into your budget, so you get the most stretch goals you can. And then it's basically all credit in the pledge manager, and we'll have these sample build bundles basically that will be right at that price level, and you can either get those or you can just do entirely a la carte.
But you could also let's say you wanted to spend $1,200, and there's $1,000 pledge, there's a $1,500 pledge, which was too much for you, but there's also a $200 pledge. You could get the $1,000 pledge and the $200 pledge for your $1,200. You get the stretch goals for both, and then you have $1,200 to spend however you want. And so you could either choose the precons that were selected for each of those, or you could a la carte. But either way, you're getting the stretch goals for both of those pledges. That makes sense. And the bigger the pledges, you'll get better buckets of stretch goals, or more buckets.
Yeah.
But you could just sort of round up whatever if you wanted to get. If you were at 500 and you're like, you know what, I think I want to go to 600, you get the $500 pledge and the $100 pledge. So you get both those. You get stretch goals for both those things. It's the concept. But they're always better. The higher ones get better ratio of stretch goals, right? You'll get a better value of stretch goals for like 5 $100 pledges wouldn't get you as good.
People are curious what the mega pledge or the all-in pledge is going to look like this time.
No idea. It's gonna look like a big, beautiful city with all 6 of those zones and all this really cool stuff. I don't know. We don't even have half the pieces sculpted. But just we haven't built anything. We don't have any things like. No idea. We're a very long way off from that. But it'll be an epic city, right? You'll have a city, all caps. City.
You hope this is explained again when the Kickstarter starts. It will be, and it will be explained better.
Well, because it'll be real.
Yeah, because we'll actually have like solid numbers, and we'll have the assets, and we'll have physical things to show you, and we'll have a better grasp of it. Like we are currently developing this like right now, and we're trying to explain it on the spot. It will be explained better, and we'll have like videos walking through it, and graphics and assets and all that stuff. It'll be way easier to understand. If you're excited about it tonight, it's only going to be better and more clear and better developed when we actually get to the Kickstarter.
Well, you'll be able to see the things, right? You'll say, hey, for $100, you get the roadside shrine or the Rusty Nail Inn, and you can see a picture of either of those, or $100 a la carte. And then we unlock the docks, and you say, or for $100, you could also get the dockside shack, and you can see a picture of that, and we'll have, you could pick any of those things or the sets that make them up.
Does money that you put into the Pledge Manager count towards stretch goals, or is it only the money that you put towards the Kickstarter itself?
Yes, it does. So because you can choose extra pledges in the Pledge Manager. So let's say you went in for the $200 pledge and get those stretch goals, and then in this Pledge Manager you throw in another $100, you can get the $100 pledge also, and so get the stretch goals for the $200 pledge and the $100 pledge, or something. All conceptually, we haven't actually built it yet, but that's the goal. That's what we'd like to be able to do.
Yeah. Vertex has a reliquaries question. Are the Brazier flames the same as the existing ones? They are. Yes. They are not different size. They are straight up the exact same flames.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what we're endeavoring to do with this pledge and stretch goal system is to give you, once again, sort of let everybody participate in the stretch goals and let everybody get the choice of, hey, I like these things you built, or I just want to a la carte, but like less pledge levels with maximum flexibility and some choice on both what you're getting in terms of stretch goals and what you're getting in terms of sets, right? I want what you've given me, or I just want a la carte it. So hopefully it's kind of gives you guys the best of all worlds. But we'll see. We haven't actually put any of the sets together or finished any of the pieces or actually done any of it, but that's the concept.
Yeah. Stretch goals go with the pledge or with the dollar amount. Like if you got unpainted, you need to basically double the amount to get the same number of stretch goals. It's tied to dollar amount, right?
Yeah. How the heck does painted versus unpainted work?
The way I was looking at it,
that's a good question. Let's see.
Generally speaking, the people that go unpainted are also the people who are willing to take more time to go through and like customize their pledge.
No, but more like the
for stretch goals. I figure we need to tie it to dollar amount, right? Because they're not tied to. Because if you don't get like the shrine or whatever, like the stretch goals don't come with the shrine; they come with the pledge level, with the dollar amount that the shrine is at.
Yeah.
Because you still get the stretch goals even if you don't get the shrine.
Oh, so then, here's the challenge. Like, let's say the $100 pledge, you get the shrine or the tavern painted. What do you do for unpainted? Do you get the same thing and $20 of credit to buy whatever you want? That doesn't make it like The problem is we're gonna have like the painted prices are gonna either we have to double our number of pledges. Huh. So like let's say it's $100 for the tavern
Or
painted, or or $70
if we
unpainted. Do we have to have a $70 pledge and a $100 pledge, but the $70 is unpainted and your stretch goals are unpainted,
if
or
we yeah, I guess, if we offer if the stretch goals can be painted or unpainted, maybe we do just have different dollar thresholds.
but we also need to offer you. We have to have a thing.
Uh,
So for $100 you get the shrine or the tavern, but those are going to cost different amounts painted versus unpainted. So then you have to have, and we have to be able to target the painted price and the unpainted price have to mirror each other too.
maybe we just don't do stretch goals like at all.
No, it's not. Stretch goals aren't the problem. It's the pledge level also. It's everything. It's painted and unpainted. We have two different Kickstarters at the same time. One's painted and one's unpainted. But they both unlock stretch goals across. It's much simpler, right? I'd forgotten about the price difference on unpainted.
Maybe we just shouldn't do a Kickstarter.
Maybe you get extra stretch goals?
You get multiple buckets
Well, like,
because they're unpainted.
so if you get at $100, you get the Rusty Nail Tavern or the Shrine of the Sore Feet, and painted, and one bucket of my feet are sore, okay, and one bucket of stretch goals painted, or you can get either of those unpainted and 2 buckets of stretch goals unpainted, or some like maybe we can somehow make up the
Price
differential.
differences, right?
Make up the differential in stretch goal, like I don't know, because we also don't have any pricing, so you don't even know what it. Well, like I said, it's all a work in progress. You get to see how it evolves as we go.
A lot of it's also going to depend on what we can do inside Pledge Manager too. Maybe Pledge Manager will have some kind of point system that will make this whole thing easier. We haven't done it this way before, so we just need to look into it. We know this is how we want to do it.
You still can't make a painted thing and an unpainted thing cost the same. Like that's the problem. Like
No, you can't.
they have to either
Well,
have
you
their
could
own.
set the painted and unpainted versions at different point amounts or something.
Yeah, but then it just gets more complicated.
If there could be some kind of point system based on the amount that you spend, and then you can apply those points towards the stretch goals, and the unpainted are less points than the.
We have to make up. Yeah, we have to make a treasure table to figure out how you like. No, like, we can't have a point system inside a thing. And then you're like, well, British pounds, one.
Okay, so first
is worth half a point, but an Australian dollar is worth 3 points, but a euro is worth like no point.
All right, so first you have to convert your pledge into dwarf bucks, and then you take the dwarf bucks.
I like dwarf bucks. Yeah. You go to the management and say I need some dwarf bucks, and yeah. Well, to be continued on because it's 9:15. We should call it a show. But I don't know why I hadn't thought about unpainted at all. It didn't even occur to me that there were different prices for the same thing if it didn't have paint on it. Go figure. Well,
Michelle's saying just stop talking. We'll work it out before launch. It's like, yes, we have time to work this out. We are actively developing.
Dwarf Bucks confirmed. So that's our show. We did our giveaway, right? We talked about the cities.
Yes, we did the giveaway.
Awesome.
A giveaway and a half.
We showed Michelle's awesome details and Eli's boat, and life is good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out. And tomorrow, Hobby Hang. What are you guys doing on the Hobby Hang?
Oh, we're painting, baby.
You're painting a baby? What color?
Yeah. Do I have any babies, actually? I don't think I do. I have some yokai. That could be nice. I could paint some yokai. They're basically babies.
So tomorrow's a Hobby Hang.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back here next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but...
I don't either. I'm actually proud. Like, I feel like we got through actually everything.
Yeah.
And we're only 15 minutes over our usual time.
We didn't.
I'm
We didn't
gonna
actually look at
clarify-
the scaffolding. We
I'm
didn't
going
look
to
at the.
clarify very quickly before we go, because we made jokes, but I need to make it very clear. We are not going to be doing crypto or NFTs. Don't worry about that.
No.
It's not what we're doing. Because of the dwarf coin thing, people were worried that we're not
Oh.
going to do that. Don't worry.
Dodgy dwarf coin.
Dodgy dwarf coin.
That's our new. No. Yeah. We're gonna strictly work with the Valorian platinum pieces.
Yeah.
That's it.
God, that's our NFTs. We still have like 300. Hey guys,
Want some coins?
you want some fake currency? Please buy the Valorian coins.
They're only going up in value. They're
only getting better. You know? Like
they're aging.
they're made of actual precious metals, right? No.
They're made of metal.
They are made of metal.
So that's all we have for you tonight. We'll be back next week with another mesmerizing topic, and I don't know.
Just do a 2-hour spotlight on the Valorian coins.
I am freezing. I gotta go.
Try to get as many of those out of there as possible.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. Be safe. Stay away from crypto. Bye.
All right.